Namaskar, I'm Ashok Vyas, and we are passing through a very critical phase in our lives. A lot of challenges, COVID-19, global crisis, but you don't lie low. You try to see how you can do the best that you can in the given situation, and that makes our community vibrant, creatively as well as with the spirit of compassion. When entrepreneur as well as philanthropist Amit Guha thought of determining his potential positive role in the scenario, he also took the help of Ballori Sengupta, and both of them have done something which is inspiring for most of us. Let me begin with you, Amitji. You are a restaurant owner, and due to COVID-19, things are not good professionally for you. Uh, when you realized what is happening with the lockdown and everything, what went on in your mind?
Actually, in the middle of March, the Governor Kumo had given a notice of lockdown for New York State. And as a business owner, we are all scared because these are livelihood. And most importantly, the employees who work at the restaurant, they felt shattered because they didn't know where to go. And on 27th, to be specific, I believe that was Thursday, Thursday or Friday, 27th of March. They were in tears. They said that, Mr. Guha, are we going to close down? So I was in the parking lot in my car, and I was just thinking. I said that, no, we are going to stay open. Just to keep the spirit high, I said that this is my plan, and I'll get back to you. Give me 2 days, I'll get back to you. The plan is to serve the frontliners. Prior to that, I have been seeing the news, reading the papers on internet, that how hard and tirelessly the frontliners are working to save the lives, who are coming in hundreds, and they were all perplexed. So that evening, I called Ballori. She was in a meeting, and it was very nice of her. She has been an extremely hard worker. It was very nice of her to, you know, get the time out of the meeting, and we discussed that what happens if we use our resources and go ahead and help out the frontliners, because everyone is talking about the patients, but when all the doors of the worship, the church is closed, the temple is closed, gurdwara is closed, mosque is closed, when people are in shambles, they take refuge. And at this point, they're like God sent all the frontliners. They are saving lives. They are taking all the burden on their shoulders to help out people. They didn't have the mask, like adequate mask, adequate ventilators, and they were also working with very small resources. And we thought everyone has, as a community member, each of us has a role to play. So our role is to support the frontliners to keep the spirit high. So Valerie and I, we had a detailed discussion,
Okay, so
and
let me interrupt you and seek input from Valerie in terms of
Mhm.
when you heard the idea of Amit to help frontline health workers. Number one, let me learn, or rather, have our viewers understand the background which connects you to the health industry, and you are into product development,
Mhm.
health products. What is exactly your role, and how familiar you are with frontline workers? When we use the term frontline workers, who are we talking about? Yeah.
So basically, when we're thinking of frontline workers, it's the hospitals, anyone from nurses and doctors. Even right now, there we have a team at Long Island Jewish Medical Center where they're the environmental services staff. So they're responsible for making sure that the hospital is completely clean and safe for the doctors and the patients at the end of the day. So them, we include the police, fire departments. So when we're saying frontline workers, these are the ones we're serving at this point. And in terms of the second part of your question of how am I associated to healthcare and what my background is, I was a genetics major, ended up doing computer science, and then kind of shifted into the health tech space. And I'm leading a product team in a health tech startup. And so I had worked in hospitals before, so I understand from what it's like in an OR to an ER and how hectic it can be, and something when you have a pandemic come in and there's constantly patients coming in and dying in front of your eyes every day. It's traumatizing, not only just to see, but it's emotional, it's physical. And a lot of these people too, like I have friends who are doctors who have newborns that they can't even see. They can't go home and hold their baby because they might spread something to the rest of their family. So they have to stay separated from them. And so when Amit Ji told me about his idea, it was great, and I definitely wanted to help because, I mean, I'm living by myself in Manhattan. I'm safe. I'm not going out, but there's these people who are going out every day, risking their lives, risking their families' lives for us and our safekeeping. And so it was definitely a great opportunity to give back to the community.
So, Amitji, it's a great idea that you wanted to do something with frontliners, but then you have to put a plan together, and you have sustained it for many days by now. So, what was it that you would consider was the biggest challenge? Number one, in what way you feel that Ballori's role in the whole process of serving frontline workers helped you in doing what you wanted to do?
Good that you raised that question, because when I first spoke with Ballori and we were discussing about the idea, in any good cause, any noble cause, there are two things. Either you can go alone, but when you work as a team, you can bounce off the ideas that whether I'm doing the right thing or wrong. And she was the perfect person because she was in the healthcare field, and knowing her background of helping others, that was a good match. He helped other people as well. I'm not the first one. So that comes her sense of belonging, sense of attachment to a noble cause. And when I'm going out with the hospital, she's the one who is the mastermind behind all the operational logistics. Like speaking with hospital resident program manager, make sure that the timing is correct. And my job was to make sure the ingredients I have, my workers are motivated to do the work, and I do and go to the hospital. She also wanted, I said that no, because I would like to take the chances because the hospital is not a good environment. Every time I go, it's life risk. So I don't want anyone else to put their life at risk. So I said, whatever job you are doing, that's a perfect thing because coordination is a big issue. Right now, we are doing 7 hospitals, 1 bank, 2 police precincts, and 1 firehouse. Today is the 46th day. Without her help in coordination, it wouldn't have been possible at all because it's a crazy thing. And when I go there, it's not like what I bring to the people. It's not just a box of pasta, a box of pizza, or a tray of pasta. It has the sentiment, love, and support from all the members of the community, which I bring to them. The first day when I went there, I couldn't believe they had tears in their eyes. They could not believe that someone was really caring for them because they are caring for the patients and they also need the emotional support. So there it was a perfect match.
We're proud of you, Amitji. I'm really delighted to hear this side of innovative approach and someone filled with positive mindset to be able to see what is the best way that one should take in the given circumstances. And I also want to thank Ballori. Ballori, now let us look at the way health industry is likely to find itself in some additional challenges as the process of opening up begins. Do you see some additional challenges waiting as we open up? And allow me to mention that at few places when they started opening, the additional responsibility on the the store workers was to make sure that people come with masks, and there have been some shootings because people didn't take it in the right spirit. So overall,
Yeah, I think definitely we've seen kind of New York, there's people starting to go out now that there's sunshine outside. Generally, it seems like most people are being smart about wearing masks and gloves. Some people aren't. And I've definitely had a lot of conversations with friends of mine who are nurses and doctors, where at this point, we actually don't know how many people do have COVID because a lot of people haven't been tested and they're not showing symptoms. And so I think part of my worry, at least, and someone who's more scientifically aware of how this whole thing works, would speak better to this. But I think one of our concerns is that we'll all be going out. Everyone will, as soon as we go out, will think, oh, we're done, and start forgetting about masks and social distancing. And what will happen is the people who didn't have symptoms will start kind of spreading it again, and we'll see a rise in numbers again. So I think as a community, it's kind of in all of our best interest to be smart about how we're going back to the offices, how we're going back into the communities and grocery stores or parks and things like that. I know definitely a lot of offices are doing a new rollout where they're doing smaller groups of people are going back into the office and they're rotating it by teams. Others have kind of indefinitely said work from home until further notice, and that looks at this point almost until September, October timeframe in terms of some of the dates I've heard. So it'll definitely be a challenge. Things will not be the same, and so it'll actually be interesting. A lot of people have been thinking about what they're doing and am I doing the right thing in life and whatnot. So just to see how people react differently when they go back, and to see if they go back to their old ways or if they're more conscious as a society of everyone around them and making sure everyone's well-being is taken care of.
absolutely. And Aviji, everything is changing. Airlines is almost stopped. Hotel industry has suffered a lot. That also brings me to the potential way in which restaurant business would work down the line, considering apprehension of people to go out and sort of sit and have fun at restaurants the way they used to do. What are your thoughts? And if I may add, you have served selflessly for over 46 days. Uh, how do you see situation now? Are we uh, this curve is now very near the end threshold where we won't have the need of this special service which you are having, or you don't see an end in near sight from that point of view?
It's interesting. Uh, it's an interesting question because as a restaurant owner, Obviously, we would like to have more people come in from the business perspective. At the same time, realistically, what we need to think when people, a lot of people, they have lost jobs. At the same time, people are eager to come out of this lockdown and then enjoy themselves. Three things that they do: either they will go to the beach, or they will go to the park, or they will go to restaurant. In that way, in the evening they cannot go to the beach. In the evening they cannot go to the park, and the only choice that they have is to go to a restaurant. At the same time, a lot of people, they'll have to watch their pockets because the earnings have been low. So maybe they will be cautious, but still they would come out and enjoy themselves because after some time they would like to have, you know, a dinner with their friends and families. Now with 6 feet apart, they cannot even invite people home. So that's the, we always look at the positive aspect of life because life is positive. Because I was discussing with Ballori, the thing that we, like when we go to sleep, we don't know whether we are dead or alive. Next morning, we go to sleep hoping that we'll see the sun next morning. So we get up, see the sun, pinch ourselves, say, hey, we are alive. So that's a positive aspect. So the thing that we are doing, that it's a, yeah, it's an inner calling. At the same time, it's the happiness is from within what we do. And when we do at the end of the day, we are happy about it. So even if I don't get up next day morning, I will die happy. So that's the
So
philosophy of life. You have to stay positive.
yeah, traditionally speaking, we don't want that to happen, and it's a fact of life. Yet we would like people like Amit Guha to be around as long as possible. So on that note, as we move towards the concluding part of our conversation, Valerie, what do you think this experience of having worked in collaboration with Amit uh, to serve frontline health workers has taught you? What did you learn? Because typical marketing or coordination is different, and working on these kind of help-oriented assignment, call it, or self uh, on your own uh, motivation, being a part of something like this gives you a different feel and experience. So, how would you compare?
Mhm. I think definitely we all go to work and we're all interacting with people on a regular basis. And, after a month of staying home, it was kind of getting to me thinking, all these people are going out and doing things that are, helping other people. I mean, I'm sort of helping too, but I'm at home and there's got to be something more that I can do, right? And I think one of the things that I definitely learned is because of what I do, like product management, pretty much problem solving. And so it was a creative way of problem solving from home, right? So, I mean, I've never had to leave because Amit is doing the deliveries himself and he refuses to let me go. And so that was where I had to sit there and think, well, what's my skill set that I have that I can help and still be a part of this project, even being home and being safe, right? And so it was a matter of what we can bring to the table. So there's a old story about the stone soup where a gentleman came in with the stone and he said, "Oh, I'm gonna have some stone soup. Who wants some? Oh, it smells so good. This and that." And then everyone else from the village started pitching in, and the villagers were eating the same thing. Either they were just eating cabbage every day, or they were just eating carrots every day. And so once everyone came together and put their specialty into that soup, it just made for a much better soup, right? And so that's what we have to think of today, where we don't really live in villages, we don't really have our own, farms, but we do have skill sets, right? We have people who know how to cook, we have people who know how to drive and who are leaders, we have people who can coordinate and make calls, we have, the frontline workers who are doing their jobs, right? And so at this point in time, and we should do this on a regular basis, it shouldn't just be when there is a pandemic, is everyone should just step up and just be a part of the community and that's what's going to make us come back stronger after this all ends.
Very well said, Bellary. And as we move towards the concluding part, Amitji, anything that you would like our viewers to know at this point of time in terms of in what way they can join if you continue to work? I hope and pray that we don't have the threat of COVID-19 coronavirus should go, but it's not happening right away. It's going to take its own course. Yet I feel we have passed the worst. Swamiji, your thoughts, expectations from the community members, and anything in particular.
Yeah, I would like both Ballori and I would like people to go to our website at www.rivierav, riviera v.com. Look at our site, and if they could contribute in that way, we can continue this crusade in supporting the frontline workers who are really God sent and helping and saving the lives of people. Something goes wrong, we go to them. So why don't we support them without any inhibitions on our part? So please, I would like the viewers and the community members to go to www.rivierav.com and contribute. That's what we can expect or that we'd like to have, basically.
Absolutely. I appreciate that, Amiji. Thanks for sharing this side where others can also become a part of this noble, if I say, movement. Concluding remarks from you, Valerie. Marketing people are generally not considered compassionate. That's the impression. But I think all skill sets have their own role to play. So, talk to me as someone more passionately involved in the area of marketing. How do you see that particular skill also is necessary for philanthropic activities as we just talked about, and your expectations as Amitji mentioned?
Yeah, so definitely echoing what Amitji is saying in terms of, everyone can go to the website and help from there. In terms of marketing, I think initially it was just word of mouth, whoever we knew in the community. But from a marketing perspective, basically what I did is there was a lot of press articles that people were requesting. There was a lot of how do we spread the word of what we're doing to people beyond our community, right? Because it's not just within our community who we're helping everyone. And so it was making sure, thinking from a marketing perspective, how can we get the word out about this project that we're doing to help the front line, and whether they come through us and help the front line or they just take that idea and run with it on their own. Our end goal is we want to show our gratitude to the front line, whether that goes through Riviera 5 or it goes through someone else. That wasn't really the point. And so just spreading the idea and putting that seed in everyone's mind of, oh, there's something I can do as well. And I don't have to be a billionaire or a company owner to be able to make a difference. I can put in $1 and make a difference. I can maybe not have $1 to spend, but I can put my time in and still make a difference. And I think from a marketing perspective and a leader perspective within the organization too, it's just that mindset of how can we bring everyone together and really show them and share the vision together as a community instead of just making it my vision or Amitji's vision.
Beautiful. So, Amitji and Valerie, I appreciate what you have done, and I also appreciate you sharing this vision with a sense of joy as well as a positive outlook towards life. Something, Amitji, which I must say helps us realize that there is a sense of oneness among all of us, and you and Valerie have done something which makes us feel proud as community. So thanking them with lots and lots of good wishes. This is Shogas thanking all of you for being a part of this conversation and enriching us by your presence. Thank you. Lots of good wishes.
Thank you.